Pendulum Divination, an ancient form of spiritual communion made more immediate for the American African to facilitate the relationship with our ancestors, to honor them in a way conducive to our presence here in this realm.
Greetings. My name is Bella Pata Tahuti Ra Spedet. I'm taking this time to show my respect for an ancient form of divination that is called Pendulum Divination. I've been practicing this form of communication with spirit for several years now. And it has opened the pathway for me. And I felt the due respect has not been given to this form of divination, this form of communication, and this accessibility to all humans of spirit. I utilize the spirit in a manner that makes my life more content, more in alignment with order. I consult the spirit in every aspect before I make decisions. One of the keys in this existence is to make good decisions. And in tune with self, in tune with spirit, increases your ability to accomplish that. Pendulum divination is a form of communication that reverts from our ancient history, ancient Kemet. Back then, it was a form of magic to the practitioners, but it was a common form of communication and maintaining communication with spirit, with your higher being. It was originally a form of healing as well. You place the pendulum over an injury and perform any type of ritual that was necessary to cure and heal that area of the body. For the American African, this is an ancestral form of divination as well. Now, pendulum divination has been confused in recent times with another form of communication with spirit called dowsing. Dowsing is a misnomer for pendulum divination. Dowsing is a methodology that is used to find water. And I think it's more akin to the electromagnetic field than spiritual implications. But pendulum divination is a different aspect of the pendulum, and that's the aspect that's more ancient in nature than the dowsing acronym that has been dowsing misnomer that has been placed upon this form of ancient divine communication. You'll see in some individuals and on YouTube, and you see demonstrations of dowsing. As you see, my pendulum's in my hand right now. Some practitioners or aficionados, they have to swing the pendulum to get it to quote unquote activate. I've never been in direct contact with someone who's had to do that, but it seems to me like it's like you have to wind it up in order to get access, which adds a level of superficiality to it, to me. There's a difference between accessing the spirit realm and being able to work a pendulum. It's not something that works. It's something that you are able to do. So there is a difference. Any tool can be harmful in the wrong hands. All of our ancient traditions have been taken and perverted in some way to make them work against us and for others. This form of divination is important to the American African because it's spirit driven. It's not something that is typically identified with the ancestral nature of the American African. We heard about Ouija boards, witch boards. We heard about throwing the shells and the rocks, and we heard about water divination. And pendulum divination is important to the African American today because it is an evolution or mutation of spiritual communication that has been adapted to our presence in this place that we're in today in North America. It has been developed as a form of communication that's more conducive to our presence in this place now, and the culture which we've been conditioned to accept. It's a means of remembering why you are. That is the most important endeavor that any human being can embark upon in this existence, in this physical realm, is to find out what you came here to do and why you are here. I think that's the quandary that has most people as easily susceptible to the conditioning in this society as they are. The purpose, finding out why you created. What's your divine function? What did you come here to do? What is your reason for existence? And I mention this as support for pendulum divination can help you in seeking the answers to those queries. It brings your higher self down to you, and makes your physical more representative of your spiritual self. There are a lot of practitioners of this aspect where you see them out there. You see a lot of YouTube videos and a lot of people that propound to be, experts and teach you how to do this. You have to have something in you to be able to, that is worthy of communication at first anyway. I think it lacks the respect that it deserves as a legitimate form of spiritual communication. And that's one of the main reasons why I'm doing what I'm doing now, to show this avenue, if you will, the respect that it deserves. The effectiveness of this form of spiritual communion, so to speak, for the American African, it taps into actually a bloodline of spirit genetic compatibility with spirit. It's actual genetic access to that which we are relatives to in the spirit realm. We're just physical presentations of spirit in the physical part. This is just what we have chosen to present ourselves in this realm as. We are actually spiritual beings. One of the primary aspects of this form of communication is that it is a means for the American African, incorporating our experience in this human experience. It's a means of respecting our ancestors and remembering them and reminding ourselves that we come from an ancient tradition, and a lot of these current trends out here now, and I'm talking about religions as well, and I call them current because what's a couple hundred years to 1,000 or millennia? They have influenced society in a way that will derail and misdirect you away from the truth of things. And again, this form of communication to me has been a means of fostering respect for our ancestors and those that preceded us. Before slavery, we have a tendency in this society. We've been conditioned that our children they don't tend to look beyond slavery as far as history is concerned. Black History Month should be American African History Month, because it only chronicles our presence from slavery to now. We are an ancient people, and these forms of communication are ancient forms of communication that are representative and characteristic of the ancient peoples that existed then, which are our ancestors. So this is a means of carrying forth and bringing them to the present to assist us, and they are out there just waiting to be respected and finding someone worthy of them bestowing their energy to. Okay, and now I want to demonstrate the connection with spirit that the pendulum has, and that it can demonstrate. If you've been watching this and stuck with it, you've seen I've had my pendulum in my hand the whole entire production. And it's responding to the spiritual atmosphere that's around me right now. My suggestion is, before you engage with the spirit realm in this form of communication, that you foster an atmosphere around you and a spirit of sincerity and beneficiality, and ensure that your intent is in alignment with spiritual advancement. I don't suggest utilizing this methodology to do harm to others with selfish intent and with ego as a basis, a foundation. I suggest you approach your practice with a spirit of negating disordered interference of misdirection, to keep that entity, that energy away from your divinings and your conclusions, and so that they will not cloud your judgment. There are naturopathic practitioners out there who legitimately have your welfare and well-being in mind, that you can seek guidance from also in this endeavor. I'm not professing to be a teacher. I'm just showing my respect for the methodology. I mean, you can do your due diligence on YouTube and Vimeo and all other avenues, and Google, of course. That's where you start. That's today's encyclopedia. So I'm just doing and showing my respect. The first thing I want to do is demonstrate and show you all that this is a legitimate means of communing with spirit. This is a demonstration of the practitioner's relationship with spirit. This is not something just anybody can do. You have to have a relationship, a kinship with the spirit realm for the spirit realm to honestly communicate with you. I'm going to ask a question, and as you can see from the chart, swaying upward is yes, and swaying to the left is no. If you see any circular motion, that is a confirmation as well. I want to ask, are our ancestors present in this place right now? I want to ask, thank you, ancestors. We respect your presence. And I want to ask, is this pendulum divination a worthy means of communicating with spirit? Yes, thank you. Thank you, ancestors. for deeming me worthy to carry the name that you have given me, Bena Bata Tahuti Ras Bedet, and deem me worthy of representing spirit in this realm. I say, I'm in that. Now, that was a demonstration of direct spiritual communication with the spirit realm. What I'm going to demonstrate next is my control and my communication with the pendulum, and how I can control this movement as well with my energy and my spiritual prowess. Now, as I explained before, I'm going to demonstrate how my personal energy relates to my pendulum. A little background on this pendulum. This is a Myrrh Isis pendulum. It's a 9-level. It's quite heavy. It's a lot heavier than your average pendulum. Of course, your pendulum choice is up to you. That's a personal decision. So no one can say that this is better for you or this is more effective. And it depends on your spiritual choice and what your intuition tells you is best for you. It can be wood, metal, stone, mineral. It doesn't matter. So you choose a pendulum that's in harmony with your spirit. Again, I'm going to demonstrate my proclivity with the pendulum. I'm going to move it up to the left in a diagonal manner right now. I'm going to move it straight up now. I'm going to the right diagonally. I'm going to move it to the bottom now. To the left diagonally, down below, bottom. To the right diagonally down. To the left. And to the right. Counterclockwise. Big circle. Clockwise. Okay. I'm going to stop it. So, again, the purpose of this little production, I felt compelled and joined by Spirit actually to do my little 2 cents worth out of everybody out there who was claiming to be this or that and seeking their 15 minutes of fame on social media, digital media, and just to show some respect to that energy that precipitated all this in the first place, you know, and make sure that people recognize and respect that from which things came initially in the first place, and to demonstrate that our experience in this land is not going unheeded, that our ancestors are with us now. They're just looking for us to respect them and to acknowledge them, and they will assist us in whatever means we need to be assisted. And this pendulum divination, falsely represented as dowsing, just another mean to gain control of one of our ancient practices. It is a valid and honored means as demonstrated that the ancestors are pleased with being recognized and being respected on this level. Thank you for listening. Thank you for spending your time paying attention to what I had to say.